Welcome one and all to the NASCAR 1-Up Retro Cup round number 2 of the season at the beautiful Auto Club Speedway just 40 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. I'm Griff McDermott once again alongside Duke Ansack standing in for John Martin. And I must say, I've gotten plenty of comparisons the past week we've been away for this track compared to the track we were at last at Daytona. High speeds up to 200 miles per hour, the draft playing a key factor, 3 and 4 wide throughout the entire race. So I ask you, Duke, what makes this track different from the track we just left 1 week ago?
Well, it's going to be all about banking and the fact that it is a half mile shorter. It's only a 2-mile oval that we're at today. But the banking is going to be the key. The banking at Daytona is really steep. You got 33-degree banking there. And then here it's going to be a little bit flatter, and the turns are a lot wider. So it's going to be sweeping turns. You won't see the pack racing like we saw at Daytona. But the speeds are still going to be high up there, and it's going to be a great race.
A couple things that are different in this race compared to the last. The runs off of turns 2 and 4, depending on which lane you're in, can play a big factor as to the run you get down the long back straightaway and the even longer front straightaway. Depends on whether or not you can overtake going into the next corner. And another thing we didn't pick up on quite as much at Daytona is tire wear. This is a very old racing surface that has not been repaved in quite some time, if at all.
One of the oldest.
And depending on how fast the tires fall off can also depend on which lane you want to run and which lane has the upper hand getting into the late stages of this 40-lap race. And with qualifying being determined just a few moments ago, we can give you our starting lineup for the Auto Club 400. Nick Ortiz continues his strong run of qualifying as of late by putting the 91 Toyota on the pole position, alongside Stephen Hunter making his first start of the season in the number 74. Row 2 features Jack Porkins and Ryan Caggiano. They shared the row last time at Daytona, and they share one again, this time further up the grid. Daytona winner Bobo Jones lines up in 5th position alongside Mattiello in car number 14. And row 4 features a pair of Dodges in Herman and Farrell lining up 7th and 8th. A pair of Fords make up row number 5 with numbers 26 and 75 on their doors as they complete your top 10. 11th position, Brie Blair in the 69, her outside pole sitter from Daytona alongside Josh Drake in the 86. Your Daytona pole winner, Alexa Lutchen, lines up in the 13th position alongside F4 Race in the 24, hoping to make up for what was an abysmal final few laps at Daytona, trying to dig himself out of an early points hole. Caden Atkins and Justin Hutchinson line up 15th and 16th on the grid, both hoping to keep up the momentum gained at Daytona as well. Chris Maley lines up in 17th alongside Oxendine in the 9 car, both in Dodges. And in row 10 is the 71 and 3 cars, both trying to make some noise after their Daytona finishes put them in the mid-pack showings in the point standings. Row 11 has Christian and Mashburn, both in Chevrolets, trying to dig their way out from the back of the field here. McKinney and Honshaw in row 12, King and Gale in row 13, and rounding out the grid, Jeffrey Finguy and Henry Thomas make up the final row of this Auto Club 400 starting grid. As the field rolls through turns 3 and 4 behind the pace car, it is Ortiz and Hunter leading the field to green, both hoping to post a strong showing today to boost them up the ladder, with Hunter in the 74 making his first start of the season, wanting to make it a memorable one. And as the pace car pulls down pit road, it leaves us in the hands of Nick Ortiz leading the field down to the green flag in his red and gold Toyota. And coming down to the restart zone, the green flag is out and we are racing at Auto Club Speedway. Ortiz and Hunter side by side as the field bunches up, going to make a dive down into turn 1. Still side by side. Hard to tell who's going to get the early advantage as they come through 1 and 2.
Yeah, now at this point you're going to see that bottom lane is probably going to have a bit of advantage. It's the shorter way around the track, except I'm wrong immediately because
as you say that, the 74 of Stephen Hunter in his first ever race making a move down onto the inside. Bobo Jones making a move down to the bottom lane as they're 3 wide already.
For third now. They're too wide for the lead. The 91 and the 74. Still side by side. Who's going to lead the first lap?
Who will lead lap number 1? It will be Stephen Hunter in the 74 by a nose. 4/100ths of a second separate the top two.
Yeah, he has led 100% of the laps that he has completed in this season, which is great for him.
But can Ortiz clear him as he works the inside lane? It looks like the outside has a bit of an advantage here. It's the longer way around, but it might just be the faster way in the early
Watch them all fan out down the backstretch. It's incredibly wide. This track is, and you know there's going to be a lot of crazy moves you see during this race.
Ortiz
totally different style.
Makes a move once again, tucked in line for a little bit, but he's not satisfied, running second as Hunter continues to lead. But as they're 3 wide
Still
again,
side by side.
3 wide for third place. Caggiano, Martin, and Porkins 3 wide for third as Hunter starts to pull away a little bit.
Here comes that 26 car on the bottom. Using the short way around, trying to make a move.
Not going to have enough, though, as Porkins begins to edge out Ortiz for second position, and Caggiano's going to follow him as the high line looks to be the right way to go. And there's a big move by Porkins up high.
Wow.
And they're still 3 wide for the second position. All this jockeying for position is letting Stephen Hunter pull away from the field.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was a great move on the outside. The advantage of running the outside is that you're able to hold the throttle a lot longer throughout the corner, and then you could get a major run coming off of the corner because you're able to just carry more momentum and more speed.
Caggiano starts to pull ahead in second position as Porkins tries to follow him through, and Richard Herman in the McDonald's Dodge is cracking into the top 5 now as Hunter continues to have a lead of about 3 car lengths.
Yeah, the cars on the outside lane are really prevailing right now. A lot of those guys really want to get up there so they can start making some moves.
And the drafts, of course, going to be a factor as 3 cars line up on the high side, making the dive into turn 1 as we start lap number 5.
Here they go. We got a Chevy, Toyota, and a Ford right up front.
And Richard Herman's Dodge right behind them. All 4 makes represented in the top 5.
Yeah, this is going to get interesting with the 30 car coming into this corner.
The Australian native trying to lead his first laps of the day. Can he make the move?
There he goes.
He's going to make a move. Can it stick?
They're side by side.
This is going to be
a major hole in the air right now. This is going to
be a drag race to the line, and it looks like Hunter by a nose by 1/100th of a second.
And that run off the top side, but the 30 is going to have a little bit, might be able to do a slide job on him here.
Can he clear coming off of turn 2?
Slide up the track in front of him. Is it going to work?
He's clear, but he did not move up, and Hunter gets a nose back out in front as they're still side by side.
Yeah, they're gonna rush by him like a freight train on the outside.
Porkins gonna see if the extra high line will pay dividends for him as he tries to make a move.
Yeah, that inside lane is working through the middle of the corner, but as soon as you get off into the straightaway, that outside lane just launches because they have that momentum.
Hunter continues to lead the way as they're 3 wide behind him yet again. They have not stopped their 3 wide formation since the start of the race.
Yeah, this is some great racing. The 74 is getting a little bit of a gap on those guys right now.
Right up against the wall as the field flies by down the back straightaway. And then look at them fan out down the back straightaway.
Yeah,
now one car was off the pace at the beginning. And it's the Daytona 500 winner, Bobo Jones. Something must have happened to him in the early stages of this race that we didn't pick up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't catch it. Maybe
he made a daring 3 wide pass. Could that have been him trying to get to pit lane? Could he have had a mechanical failure to put him this far behind? He's already 1 lap down in the 13.
Huh. Yeah, he must have made a pit stop. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
And sure enough, on lap number 2, he pulled down the pit lane. What a heartbreak for your Daytona 500 winner, already in a deep hole in the Auto Club 400. He is now shotgun on the field.
Yeah, you think that's one of those things that, especially in the first run, if it was a loose wheel or something, unless he hit some debris, that's something that should have been addressed in the garage, and it's a real tough start to his day.
From first at Daytona to last here, but there's still plenty of racing to go as we're just about to approach the quarter distance mark here at the Auto Club 400. Hunter continues to lead. Porkins and Mattiello now in 3rd position.
Look at this 16. Or the 14. Oh no, it is the 16 I'm thinking of. 16. He that Best by Ford. He's eating away at that lead. He's making a move right now, in fact.
These two cars so far look to be the class of the field, but there's still a hungry pack of cars right behind them, hoping for an opportunity to strike should one of these two falter.
Yeah, look at this. They're side by side for the lead. That's going to allow these other guys to catch right up to him.
We've seen people make daring dives on the inside lane, but none of them have been able to make it stick, as the outside lane continues to be an advantage.
Look at that. He's driving away from him.
Could it be
74 car?
Could it be, Duke, that the multitude of seams on the inside lane, look at how cracked the inside lanes are compared to the outside. Could that be what's contributing?
Yeah, it's incredible because that's tar stuff. You know, it gets a lot hotter than the track, and it's a lot slicker because it's a smoother and a softer surface. So maybe it does. I'm not sure though.
Along the straightaways and for most of the outside lane, it's all pretty orderly, flat seams. But down on the bottom, there's various patchwork done on the bottom grooves. Could that be what's causing maybe an increase in tire wear, not causing them to get a run?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, something else that I noticed about the corners is that those bottom 2 or 3 lanes maybe are a little bit less banked than the outside, so you have to let off a lot more because it's a little bit flatter. You're going to slide up the track. So, combination of a couple things causing that.
They don't need any extra help sliding around. They've already been doing plenty of that for the first 10 laps of this race, now completing lap 11.
This 16 car is really working on him. He's been able to stay next to him for a while, and these other guys are really catching up to him now.
And that inside lane starting to form up with Martin, Herman, and Josh Drake starting to form a line.
Yeah, look at this. The bottom lane has a little bit of help now with the 26. We'll see about the 16 can do something. He's running that.
Doesn't look like it's so far.
Yeah,
although he looks to be gaining coming off of 4.
Yeah, I don't know. He jumps down, you know, and he's got to run this time.
Every single lap has been a drag race to the line.
Yeah, this time he's ahead of him going into 1.
Can he,
the 74 is falling back now.
He's got a car link on him. Can he clear Hunter coming off of 2?
He's clear. He's got to come up. He's got to come up and block the 74.
He doesn't come up. Hunter's coming back at him.
Goodness.
Hunter's coming back at him as they go into 3, but Morgan still has a nose on him. Might be able to clear him off of this corner.
Oh, he didn't have quite as good of an entry that time.
Don't be so sure. He's got the push from the 26.
Here he comes. He's got to slide up as soon as he's clear.
This time he does clear. We have our first.
He's definitely got him now.
We have our first lead change of the day. Jack Porkins out front.
Yeah, and the 26 is still pushing him down the front stretch. 74's got a long wait before he gets any help.
Pair of Fords leading a Dodge and 2 Chevrolets as Hunter starts to fall back a little bit. He's still in the top 5.
Yeah, don't count him out though. He's got quite a run now.
He's still got that outside line.
Yeah, the 16 doesn't want to go up there, it seems like.
The question is, as the tires wear, will we start to see a change in the preferred line? Will the inside lane start to come in a little bit as they go 3 wide for the lead? For the lead. Martin on the inside, Porkins in the middle, and Hunter on the outside. Who's going to lead this lap? It's going to be very close indeed, and it looks to be
26 got it.
Martin by 2/100ths of a second.
Wow.
This race has been chaotic already without a single caution flag to slow down the action.
There goes the 16. Finally slid up in front of the 24 or 74.
Porkins making that outside line work after being a bottom feeder for the first quarter of this race. As now Josh Drake starts to make a move in the 3rd, and Justin Hutchinson in the 28, your runner-up at Daytona, making a move into the top 5.
Man, oh man.
Coming off of 4, Porkins has about a car length and a half on Hunter as they go into 1. These two have been the class of the field so far, but I can only imagine the challengers will continue to form as the pack continues to form behind them. The top 9 all within a second of the lead.
Yeah, and that 16 car, that's a rookie. He doesn't drive like it though.
If you think Porkins is a rookie, Hunter, he's making his debut race in this series.
Yeah, and he's been dominating.
He's been top 3 all day. But here comes Martin in the 26 with a push from Josh Drake, and Caggiano in the 30, still hanging in there in the top 5 as well.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed so far through the first half of this race is that if you're going to want to try to pass somebody on the bottom, you've got to have somebody behind you helping you in the. It's just the way it goes right now.
Another strong run by this unsponsored entry. This unsponsored number 75 Ford continuing to make a charge. And the way it looks now, they're going to be in the top 5 in points. And as cars like Hutchinson and Drake move up through the field, our pulser to Nick Ortiz continues to drop back. He's fallen out of the top 10 and has yet to lead a lap so far. The speed in qualifying has not translated to race pace so far.
Yeah, it's just because of all this side-by-side racing that's happened. You know, they're punching a bigger hole in the air and they're causing more drag on each other, and it's slowing them down a little bit, but that doesn't mean it's any less exciting. That's for sure.
The entire field minus Bobo Jones continues to run in one giant pack as they continue to slice and dice through the field for every single position as we approach the halfway point.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if Martin's making a move right now.
2 Fords side by side. Who will get the nose out to lead this lap? Will be the short way around or the fast way around? Oh!
It was so close. I don't know.
Too close to call. Yeah. Down to the 1,000th of a second. It's impossible to tell who led that one, but the scoring shows Martin out front by a hair.
That's incredible.
Imagine if that was our race to the checkered flag. We still might see it.
Yeah, and this 74 still, he wants some of that action. He's coming. He's coming back from the outside.
It looks to be coming down to these 5 cars. Martin, Porkins, Hunter, Drake, and Hutchinson that appear to be the fastest cars in the field as they fill out your top 5.
Yeah, so here's a question for you. Are we going to have to deal with any fuel pit strategy today?
Well, the fuel window on these cars is about 48 to 51 laps, so we should be good to go to the end of this race without making a single pit stop. Granted, these tires will fall off quite a bit, and we're already seeing speeds a full 1.5 seconds slower than when we started.
Wow. Here comes 74. They're gonna move on the outside.
Struggling for grip, but they're still side by side throughout this entire field, as Porkins continues to keep a nose ahead of Hunter and Martin.
Yeah, and we'll have to see with these guys racing so hard up front. They're really eating through their tires, so we'll have to see if anybody blows one, because that would be catastrophic.
See if someone like Hutchinson or Mattiello back there can make a charge late. Hutchinson trying to make up for a disappointing Daytona. He finished so close to the victory.
See a couple of new faces up here too. That 86 and the 28.
Drake and Hutchinson both started outside the top 10. Drake in 12th and Hutchinson started all the way back in 16th. And yet, as we cross the halfway point, they are both in the top 5.
You gotta wonder, maybe they've been laying back, saving their tires, and now it's time to go.
We still got half the race to go, though. Anything can happen.
3 wide!
3 wide for 3rd position as Drake tries to force the issue up the middle. Wow. Hunter goes way wide, and he drops back to 5th position as we get a battle for the lead continuing between the 2 Fords of Martin and Porkins for the top spot.
Yeah, those 2 cats sitting in 3rd and 4th right now. They're really strong. Look at that.
Drake up to 2nd.
Up to 2nd place.
I tell you, it looks to be between these 5 cars that will determine the winner of the Auto Club 400.
Still got about half this race to go, just a little bit less.
And every single car except for number 13, who had that mechanical failure early, is still in this lead pack.
Yeah, it's still wondering and what happened to him, and you got to wonder where he is on the track right now in comparison to these leaders.
He's about half a straightaway behind. It seems that his issue has been fixed. He's running at speed now, about half a straightaway behind the lead pack, so he will most likely not go a second lap down or be a factor as they come to lap him.
Yeah, that would be something to worry about, but probably not. Yeah, I see him back there. He's hanging on.
Another thing to worry about here is if like you said, a tire blows, or if another car blows an engine, they're so close together, it could lead to a chain reaction and takes out 5 or more cars.
That would be, dare I say, the big one at Auto Club.
Like if Josh Drake were to blow an engine right now, he's got Martin and Hutchinson right behind him.
Oh yeah.
And that could hand some top fives to some unlikely people.
Yeah, I'm still watching that 86 and the 28. I think that those two guys are kind of holding back right now, waiting for a good time to pounce. As I say that, they go 3 wide with the 26.
Caggiano continues to hang in there in the 6th or 7th position alongside the 75 car. Those two seem to be the only mid-packers able to hang into the Fast 5. Mattiello's still there as well, but it looks like it's these 5 that will determine the race between them. As I say, Hunter gets a challenge now for the 5th position. It would be the first time he's fallen out of the top 5 all day.
Yeah, he's still hanging on to that outside lane. It's not quite working like it was earlier for him.
As the tires start to wear, it appears that the inside lane is starting to have more of an advantage. As you can see, Drake starts to lose ground.
Yeah, was that a little bit of contact for the... It looked like they were side by side for a second. Not quite sure. 26 is on him, though.
Yeah, the outside lane no longer has the advantage it had at the beginning of the race, as now the inside starts to prevail as Martin goes under Drake for 2nd place.
Yeah, and as we talk about the inside prevailing, the guy that was the bottom feeder for the whole first part of the race in that 16 car, he's the leader, and here comes the outside lane. Man, they love proving me wrong today.
And Hunter continues to refuse to go to the bottom lane no matter what the advantage may be. As he continues to ride the high side. They're 3 wide once again for the lead. Who's going to get the edge this time as they head to start finish? Looks like it will
is all the way down the track.
Porkins, I believe, yes, by by 1/100th of a second.
That's an incredible margin. Look at the 26 made a huge move going into the corner.
But can he clear? I don't think he's going to have enough of a run.
And not looking like it.
The top 5 all within such a close margin. Look at them all.
Look at them all right there. It's incredible.
These 5 cars have been the fastest ones all day.
Look at how bumpy it is down the backstretch. You can really tell on that camera angle. Great camera work.
Such a bumpy, abrasive surface. These tires are dying very quickly. They still have 13 laps left to decide the race.
Yeah, see now that outside lane really is falling off now. You can see that the 26 and the 16 are pulling ahead, and the 28.
When will Hunter make the move down to the bottom? He hasn't done it yet, and he still hasn't done it as he's getting a challenge for 5th. And he's fallen back to 6th. Falling back to 6th now. That's the furthest back he's been all race long.
Yeah, and look at that 75, that all-white unsponsored 75 car.
If they continue to have runs like this, I'm sure a lot of companies will be knocking on their door.
Yeah, somebody's got to pick up on this. He had a great run at Daytona, and he's having a great run today.
Opportunistic at Daytona, just straight out speed here at Auto Club Speedway from his 10th starting position.
Look, here comes that 30 car. He was battling up towards the front near the beginning of the race.
He's been a top 10 challenger all day, and look at that Bud Light Chevrolet. That's Christian in the 8. First time he's been in the top 10 all day. He started all the way back in 21st.
Yeah, do you think maybe he was doing the tire safe thing? He saved his tires even more.
He's made his way up in the top 10. Can he get any further than that? As they're 3 wide once again. Yeah. Martin now clear of Porkins by 2 car lengths.
Yeah, he's definitely out front now. I'm not sure if that 16 used up his stuff or not.
One person who looks like they haven't yet is that 28 of Justin Hutchinson. Can he redeem himself from that 2nd place finish at Daytona with a win here today? It's very well possible as we approach 10 laps to go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's got a little bit of a run coming off the high side.
And he's got Drake pushing him too.
Yeah. This is going to get interesting real quick with the 26 and the 28.
Hutchinson up high, Drake on the bottom.
Yeah, look at this. Drake is making a move for 2nd place. That's not going to help either of them.
And it might let Martin pull away, although we have not seen any one car manage to pull away a good deal.
No, yeah, cars are fairly equal right now. It's
at most, it's been about 0.3 of a second is the biggest gap we've had all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Which is just what we want to see. No one car having a clear advantage here. Although it looks like these 5 will continue
Yeah.
to be the class of the field here today.
Yeah, unless that 8 could get up there, but I'm not sure. He's kind of stuck.
He's
He hit a
stuck
wall.
battling that 30 car,
Before.
and both those cars have had speed, just not quite enough to keep up with this Fast 5. We come down to 9 laps remaining. Martin leads Drake, leads Hutchinson, Porkins, and Hunter. That's been your top 5 for pretty much the last half of this race.
Yeah, they're starting to string out a little bit up front. That's okay though, because we still got multi-groove racing.
And we've got,
people are
I can see that red Dodge of Caden Atkins too. We led the most laps at Daytona, and now with 8 laps to go, he's finally making his first appearance in the top 10.
Yeah, a lot of interesting characters up there right now. Things are changing.
And who's that car on the inside of Atkins? I couldn't quite tell, but I'm pretty sure that was car number 18, who started all the way back in 25th.
Yeah.
It is the 18.
Yeah, it is.
King. Started 25th, and he's just outside the top 10 now.
Yeah, he is. This is going to be an interesting run from Hutchinson right here.
He's got the run. Can he make the outside work on those very, very worn-out tires?
Yeah, it kind of stalled out through the second half of that straightaway there.
He's got another run. Can it last?
Yeah, and the 74 is catching back up.
We go on board now with car number 28. You can see the gap. It is very small, only about 2-3 car lengths max.
Yeah, and look at how bumpy this racetrack is when you're on board. It's like it's vibrating.
Even on the front straightaway now.
Yeah, I'd say it's even a little bit
bump
smoother
sends
in
these
the corners.
cars further and further out of control as they come out of turn 2 once again. Coming to 6 laps to go this time by.
That 26 really has not... Once he took the lead, nobody's been able to catch him.
Bit of an uneventful day at Daytona for Martin, but he's certainly turning on the afterburners today. Can he get the win, or will someone else in that Fast 5 take it from him in the late stages?
Yeah, so he's pulling down the track. He's trying not to stay in front of Hutchinson for too long. He's trying to break the draft, not let Hutchinson catch right up to him.
But could Hutchinson be better with his nose in the clean air? He's got the downforce pulling the car down onto the racetrack.
Yeah, in the corners, that for sure that's the case. But down the straightaway, he's going to want to be right up behind the 26.
I'm not so sure. The downforce could help him manage all those massive bumps on the back straightaway.
Yeah, maybe.
He's got a big run coming to 5 laps to go. This race is still not over by any means.
Yeah, and I think the 28 is catching up just a little bit. We'll see what is.
I think the 28 is a little bit faster, but can he get the run that he needs to achieve victory after Daytona?
Yeah, he was a little bit closer that time. Nothing too much, but
the gap's still 0.2 of a second. As Porkins now is fighting for 5th place with Christian in the 8.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, here comes that 8 car on the bottom.
That car's coming alive in the later stages, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for him to catch these top 2.
Yeah, we've only got 4 laps left, so it's
coming to 4 laps to go this time. And Hunter's finally after all that time in the high line, he finally goes down to the bottom with
look at that.
Few
We'll
laps
see if
to
he
go.
found something down there.
Can he make it past Hutchinson for 2nd and maybe track down Martin?
Yeah, now that they're side by side, they're falling back just a little bit from the leader, but
0.3 of a second the gap now.
Yeah, maybe that Chevy, the 74, he'll be able to pull up a little bit closer. Here comes the 16 back.
Porkins and Drake working together to try and get past Hunter once again.
Look how close Hutchinson is. He's on him now.
He's alongside. Can he get the run off that high side? Or can Martin make it stick? That inside lane's got the run. And Martin
is he gonna slide up?
Martin will stay ahead for now. I say come to 3 laps to go. This has been quite the exciting race.
Yeah.
3 wide throughout the entire race. Every single lane on the racetrack's been used to make a pass. And now we've got 2 fast Fords dicing back and forth for the race win at Auto Club Speedway.
Yeah, we'll see. This is where Hutchinson got that run last time. He's going to need to have a really good corner slide up next to him.
He's got it
again. I think he's on him.
Can he get there? He's got a nose up to the right rear. pulling up alongside there, side by side, going into the
He had a
corner.
really good entry.
Looking
That bottom
right
lane
at him.
prevails through the middle.
And off the corner as Martin continues. He clears him once
Man.
again. Coming now
Man, he's
to 2
really
laps to
rolling the
go.
middle.
This race is still not over yet.
This is some great racing, and they're side by side, so it's letting these other guys catch back up. Here comes 16.
Just under 4 miles left to decide the winner of the Auto Club 400.
Here comes Hutchinson. Is real close this time. He's going to get a huge
Oh,
run
he's
down the
got him.
backstretch.
He's got him this time. He's got him this time. Hutchinson, clear. First lead of the day.
Oh, man.
Hutchinson takes the lead for the first time today, coming to the white flag. What a
26 is
power
going to
move.
stay low. He's way better through 3 and 4. We'll see if he can get back to him. I don't think he will, though.
It's still not over yet, as car number 28 of Hutchinson trying to redeem himself for that so close second place at Daytona. He takes the white flag. He takes the white flag. But Martin is still there, and Porkins behind him. Can the two Fords behind Hutchinson try and work together and push by him in the final back straightaway?
We're going to have to see if the 26 is able to draft up behind the 28.
He's got 1 mile to hang on.
He's not behind him.
Martin's got one last chance if he can make a dive right here to race is his, but unless he can do that, doesn't look like he can do it. He doesn't have the
He's
right.
going to stay in that line he's been running. The 28 is blocking his line a little bit.
And after such a heartbreak in the Daytona 500, oh so close second place. Now, Justin Hutchinson coming off of corner number 4. This time, victory is his. He wins the Auto Club 400.
Man, oh man.
And what a race throughout the entire day between all 5 of these cars, and the entire field put on quite a showing here at Auto Club Speedway. And
yeah, that was impressive.
Well-deserved victory, and I'm sure he'll get his fair share of votes towards Driver of the Day as well. What a race between all of these cars. And with this victory, in addition to his second place at Daytona, compared to Bobo Jones's issues today, that might give him the points lead. It should.
Yeah, I would say so. That seems perfectly reasonable assumption to put him up top of the points.
I think it's safe to say that we've got a contender on these big, wide, fast tracks, and that is car number 28, Justin Hutchinson. But next week, we're going to the exact opposite of that at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you, Duke, I must ask you before we sign off, with the exact opposite of this race at Bristol, what are we going to expect there as the cars take out the high banks?
Yeah, it's going to be a real close racing. Again, another one of those multi-groove tracks where you can run the outside and get that run down the straightaways, and you can run the inside and have a better
and with such a low margin for error, one slip, and it can take out plenty of cars. We've seen two caution-free races so far this season. Will that trend change at Bristol?
It's tough to have a caution-free race at a short track for sure, because they're going to be spread out through the whole thing. Lap cars are probably going to be a factor.
I would be amazed if we did not get a caution there.
Yeah, so would I.
Thank you so much for watching, and from Duke Anzac and myself, congratulations to Justin Hutchinson, your winner at the Auto Club 400.